All right, we're going to continue on with section 7.17, graphs of linear equations. And the two big focus words are graphs, because we're going to be doing some graphing, and linear. Let's take a look at this word linear. The word that kind of is the root word of this is line. And that means that all of these graphs are going to be able to create a line. These graphs will always be a straight line. So we're going to take the things that we were making before, those input-output tables, and we're going to be turning those into graphs. So let's take a look at a quick input-output table that we can take and put into a graph. I have my input and my output. And they're going to give you a table in this case. So this one might look like this. It might say 1 and 6, 2 and 7, 3 and 8, 4 and 9. And they're going to ask us to do two things. Find the rule and graph it. Well, first we should be able to do number 1 pretty easily. Let's see. What are they doing to the number that they put in to get the one when they come out? Well, if I look at my outputs, it looks like I can see them going up by 1. That means I'm probably going to be adding, because they're both going up by 1, so I'm probably going to add by the same thing. I can see that if I add 5 here, it works. If I add 5 here, it looks like my rule in this case is x plus 5. So I've got my rule, and I'm good to go. I've done that. My next thing that I have to do is I need to graph it. Well, when I graph it, remember that my little graph will kind of look like this. And I have that x coordinate and I have my y coordinate. And in this case, when I have my input and outputs, I can actually call this my x, kind of what I start with. And this is where my y is. And this is exactly why we have our coordinate pairs in the form of x comma y, because they come from these input-output tables. And all we have to do now is take these numbers, these 4 sets of coordinates. If I wanted to, I could even write them like this, which might look a little familiar. I could say I have 1 comma 6, I have 2 comma 7, I have 3 comma 8, and 4 comma 9. And if I wanted, I could even get the domain and range of this, which I'm not interested in this time, but I am interested in making a graph. Now, you're going to be making a lot of graphs, so I recommend using some graph paper. And this graph paper that I put in the bin, hopefully it'll be in there, has larger boxes on one side and smaller boxes on the other side. Now, for this graph, I'm going to copy over my input-output table, just so I don't forget it. But I'm going to call it an XY table this time. So I have my numbers like this. I have 1 and 6, 2 and 7, 3 and 8, 4 and 9. And I'm going to make my little graph. Let's see. And in this case, I can see that all my numbers are going to be positive, so I'm mainly going to be using this area. So I'm going to make this area a little bit bigger. Okay, my x's go from 1 to 4, so I'm definitely going to have my zeros in there. I'm also going to have my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I like to go a little bit extra from what I know I'm going to have to use. My y's go from 6 to 9, so I'm going to have to start a little bit of building. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, so now I'm going to graph these. My first one is 1 comma 6. So 1 comma 6. I have right here 2 comma 7, 2 comma 7. Notice my x is always first. 3 comma 8, 1, 2, 3 comma 8. Now I should start noticing a pattern where these dots are going. My last one, 4 comma 9, is right there. Now what I'm going to be doing is I've got these points. I can clearly see that they connect. I recommend finding a straight edge or a ruler I can use this little pack of Post-it notes, I think. And I'm going to use it to draw my little line like this. I missed a little bit, but that's okay. And this line kind of goes here, and it's going to go along forever along this line. And I can even write a general rule for this line, because recall that the rule I discovered for this number is, what did I write? It's x plus 5. And I can say x plus 5 equals y. And this is a form of a line, actually, that's going to describe this very thing that I just drew. And the typical way that we write this is we write it with the y on the left equals x plus 5. And that's going to be the graph rule that I can do for this. And it's also going to be the graph that I need. So this would be my example 1. Now, if you feel like you can go on and do this, go ahead. Oops. Example 1. I'm going to do number 1 on the homework if you want to join me, or if you just want to see if you did it right. Maybe try it first and then come back and see if I did it right. Let's see. All right, my example 2, which is going to be number 1 on the homework. I'm going to write my input-output table. X, comma, Y. 1, 2, 3, 4. I like that. 1, 2, 3, 4. I like it already. And we have 4, 5, 6, 7. 4, 5, 6, 7. Well, that makes me think that I'm going to have a very similar rule than I had before, but that's okay. Looks like I have x 1 to 3. That's a plus 3, plus 3, plus 3. I think my rule is going to be x plus 3. And from what I saw earlier, I can probably generalize my line rule already to y equals x plus 3. All right, now I need to build my graph. I can see again that I'm going to need just up here. I probably should have built this a little bit lower, but that's okay. I'm going to need 1 through 4 on my x. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'm going to need up to 7. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, I'm going to put all these points in. 1, 4, 1, 4, 2, 5, 2, 5, 3, 6, 4, 7. All right, I've got my points. Now I'm going to go find my lucky Post-it notes. I'm going to, these I didn't maybe, oh, no, there we go. And I'm going to make my line. Oh, I did a little better that time. I'm going to say this line does go on forever in both directions. And my rule here is y equals x plus 3. Okay? Not too bad. A little bit of time consuming making these graphs, but I don't think it will be too hard. Go ahead and good luck.